Hi, this is the 13th Wolfman. I'm going to talk about 6 movies in 6 days. Much like my Saw-a-thon, we're going to talk about the Romero films, the Dead films, whatever you want to call them. I'm starting with the 1968 classic. I'm going to talk about all the Romeros, the night, the dawn, the day, the land, the diary, and the survival of the dead movies. I'm going to do them in order, so we're starting with this one. Night of the Living Dead. 1968, George Romero gets together with John Russo and a couple of others. Hires the actors Dwayne Jones, Judith O'Dea, Chili Billy, plus Bill Hinsman, and asked them to make this movie. Now, before they made this movie, Romero's real... he'd not made a big feature film. He'd made industrial films that you would see like on the Mr. Rogers show. Like how they made sneakers, and that was put out by his company called Image 10. But then he said, hey, I think I can make a movie. And he made basically, I wouldn't say the first drive-in movie, but probably one of the most successful drive-in movies. So in 1968, he writes this movie, and it really... It kind of shows images of how the zombies were treated, and that kind of parallels the Watts riots in the 1960s, and how blacks were treated back then. And you could definitely see that there not a subliminal message, but there is a message that's in the story. It's a great movie. It just... I couldn't believe that, when this came out. I was around, but I wasn't old enough to really watch it. It wasn't until I was probably about 6 or 7 years old that I first saw this movie, and it completely blew my mind. This is the way a zombie film needs to be. It was to me, this movie is probably the one movie that's so claustrophobic feeling. Because of that little farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. This is a great edition to have. I've showed this edition before. This is like the only edition that George Romero has really, at least in the commentary, he endorses this version. It's probably the best looking version as far as picture goes. I've always hated the cover for this version. It's just like some goofy looking tombstone with Night of the Living Dead on it. It's like, dude, I want a decent picture here. So I would love it, man, if I could get a decent picture here and just leave all the rest. But yeah, this has everything on it. It's a newly approved THX transfer, trailers, TV spots. It's got a dual commentary track featuring George Romero and the casts. The film parody of Night of the Living Bread, the original mono soundtrack, the Dolby 5.1 remix, still galleries, the history of Romero's company, Leighton Image, scenes from the lost Romero film, There's Always Vanilla. It's not really lost, I have that movie. An interview with the Living Dead's Judith Riley, the final interview of Dwayne Jones. I understand that Dwayne Jones did not really he liked making the movie for what it was at the time, but later in life he really didn't like talking about this movie, from what I understand. Foreign and domestic posters and collectibles, original props, the entire original shooting script, cast members' personal scrapbooks, the THX optimizer to ensure proper TV monitor calibration, Romero directed TV spots and short films, and a full-color insert featuring liner notes by Stephen King. And since I bought this at a fire sale at a video place, I did not get the insert with the Stephen King thing. It's 96 minutes long. It's black and white. It's got a little bit of female nudity where you get to see her butt, you know. So this is definitely worth a watch. This is the one that started it all. I'm the 13th Wolfman. I'm on the prowl.